This year's National Indigenous Games Festival took place in September, celebrating Heritage Month in KwaZulu Natal. The opening ceremony was held at the Princess Magogo Stadium, and the games were played at Woy Park in Durban. This year marked the 17th edition of the Indigenous Games, hosted by the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, in collaboration with KwaZulu Natal and the Ethekwini Municipality. In this first episode, we will be showcasing the indigenous sports of Ntuva, Koko, Morabaraba and Debeke.
Bringing such a large group in the province has a major boost in terms of our economy and tourism, and it also introduces people to diverse things in the province, and we hope that one day they will come back with their families, with their kids to visit again.
I'm actually encouraged to see almost all provinces that the representation of young people is quite encouraging, because not only do young people participate in sport, Indigenous Games too is a sport, whether you look at it unprofessional or professional, and I think it says a lot about activism of young people in terms of the national life, or our national life, and I'm encouraged. They come from different provinces all the way to gather here in KwaZulu Natal, and it's something that we can build from.
We have a contingent of about 1,200 participants. This is made up of athletes who are actually participating. You can see them around the stadiums and the facilities here. We also have technical officials, we have coaches, we have general team management. We also have a core of the medical assistants, our ambulance corps, the doctors, the physiotherapists are all part of here. And we have a local organizing committee who've been working very hard to put this all together. So there's a contingent of about 70 people from the local organizing committee who are assigned to the different codes of sport, who are assigned to do duty in terms of the catering, the transport, and all the other elements that make for a very successful event.
Uva. One player begins by removing any two stones from their holes and placing them one at a time in an anti-clockwise direction in the next holes. It's a strategic game and aims to capture all of the opponent's pieces.
The background of the sport itself, the games were played by our forefathers. Then once they are on their grazing land, grazing their cows and cattle, whilst they are heading their cattle or other cows, they were busy playing this game. Among the participants themselves, in order to score them, you have to ensure that the person who won many marbles, or rather collected many marbles for against his opponent, is the one who will win the game at the end of the day. And then we use a score sheet to record the score of the person who collected the maximum points in this sport of us.
This is one of the trickiest games I've ever been exposed to in my life, because it's a mind game. It's not an intuitive game, because I don't know how to explain it, because unlike other games where you can just go and look and be able to pick up some things of how they do it, you can just learn by looking at it. This one is it's a very abstract game. Even though you can just go here and look at the game, you will never understand it. It took me more than a year to actually understand the concepts behind the game itself. And one of the most key elements in order to excel in this game is mathematics. It's not necessarily crucial, but if you understand mathematics, it kind of becomes much easier to understand the game. That's what I'm saying.
Koko has its origin in the Indian community, and the objective is to tag or hunt down an opponent and score points. It has a strict set of rules, and the match has 2 innings. The chaser runs around the sitters chasing the defender, trying to touch them so that they would be out.
When we're speaking about Koko, you're speaking about the chasing game. That has 2 teams, which is Team A, that will be chasing, and Team B, which will be running. So Team A must chase the running team and make sure that they can get as much catches as they can. And then even the running team will get an opportunity to chase the running team. So in Coco, if you catch one person, it's 1 point, and then if you're making a foul, it's half. So when we're calculating the score, we're looking at how many catches you have made and how many fouls you have made, and then your fouls minus your catches. That's how it's being scored, and it has been playing for quite some time now. It's been so long, and then it's popular. We're even playing it in India. It's the most popular sport, but then internationally we haven't went to the international level, but soon I'm sure we will be participating at the national level.
I choose Coco because it's a fast sport and I like run too much. To play for Team KZN is not easy, so like we train hard, but we've been preparing since. And then now we see that we are ready and we're going to take it again.
Most of the teams, they've pulled up their success. The competition is getting tougher. All the provinces, they're bringing in their A game, and it's been very tough, but we're actually on the roll for gold, and we very appreciate these games because it gives us an opportunity for young people to explore their talents in different avenues. So as a Coco team, we're still looking forward into making sure that the sport grows.
Morabaraba. This game was developed by herders centuries ago. It is a traditional two-player board game involving strategy and tactics. It is played with 24 pieces called cows, and each player receives 12 cows in a certain color. The aim of the game is for each player to get 3 cows in a row, either vertically, horizontally, or diagonally. When this is done, they remove a cow from their opponent, and the aim is to remove all the opponent's cows off the board.
Mrabaraba, it's a sport game and it's a mind sport game. That children, when they played umrabaraba, badlala basemakhaya, bangadlala basetikolweni, and then ngiyo sports lesenda ukuthi umntwana ingqondo yakhe ikhululeke, ihlale irelaxed.
Murabaraba is a mind game. It's a castling game. So you have to use your mind to think. So if you're not emotionally stable, you're gonna lose it. Because each and every time you're playing, you're gonna have those moments whereby you're not in the game.
Dibeke is a running ball game played by 2 teams of 6 boys and 6 girls each. The attacking team tries to kick the ball away from the defenders, while the defenders try to get the ball away from them using their hands.
Dibeke is a very interesting game, and it's a very lovely game, and it's one of the codes that I think everyone can relate and everyone can play. In Dibeke we are having 6 males, 6 females. It's a mixed gender whereby both 2 teams will having an attacking team, will having a defending team. The attacking team, their main purpose is to get 20 runs. If they make 20 runs, we call it a bottle. That's then they have made a game, then they can run back to the box. Those that they were all out, then they can come back to the box. And how they play in terms of the rules, there are rules that you cannot just hit a person, maybe picking a ball from the ground and hit a person. You cannot turn and hit a person. So those are the rules that umpires are making sure that they implement correctly, and they're making sure that people understand what is expected. It's a game that you are running most of the time. It needs people to train. It needs your physical fit for you to be a good player.
So last year we came 4th due to minor mistakes, our mistakes. So I'd like to believe that this year we came with a new mindset. The coaches went back and we started from scratch, went back to the drawing board. And most of the teammates, they are new. So I'd like to think new things, new beginnings. So yeah.
Oh, definitely. The cup is going to stay here in KwaZulu Natal, and we, as I said, we do have a program, all year round of playing Indigenous games in schools, in communities. So that's why for us, it's not something that comes during this competition. It's going to stay here. We are defending champion, as you say, and we will make sure that we remain champions.
Indigenous Games has been a recreational pursuit over the years, we've been trying to structure them into formal structures. Like we'll have the crickets and the footballs and the netballs, etc. So you want an Indigenous Games Council, a National Indigenous Games Council, like you would have a provincial sports confederation as well. So you'd want a provincial Indigenous Games Council, and you'd have all your different 9 codes for now. They are formalized. There is a semblance of formality in them, but we want to make sure that we make efforts now to formalize these structures, so that on an ongoing basis you have officials that get trained to take up their roles as the executive of the Indigenous Games. You have a full program of capacitating all your technical officials, your coaches in that code of sport.
The Indigenous Games help to promote social cohesion and nation building, and celebrate the country's rich history, heritage and culture. The team showcase their cooperation and teamwork, and they improve their physical health, and this event is also important for them to maintain their customs and values. In the next episode, we will be showcasing in Tonga, Tiketo, Ristokis, Yukskei and Khati.
It's World Cup fever, and the Sports Trust is hosting their fundraising corporate quiz event on the 26th of October. Enter your teams, dress up as your favorite sports team, and enjoy a fun evening whilst raising funds to help tomorrow's sports heroes today. Calling all amateur golfers, it's your chance to play like a pro at this year's Sports Trust Golf Challenge taking place at Sun City Gary Player Country Club the day after the Netbank Golf Challenge. For more information, visit our website, thesportstrust.co.za.